Well met, my friends. Welcome to the second episode of the show Gamesäge. Last time I received a lot of comments saying, oh, the white background, that's really sterile, please change it, put up some posters. So instead of putting up some posters, although I did put up the Lindsay Sterling poster over there, I decided to just go to a different room and have my bookshelf in the background, which not only holds books but also games and DVDs. So in today's episode we're going to look at the game Citadels, as I've mentioned last week. And in February this year, 2013, I've written a blog entry about the traits of great board games. And so I didn't quite get all the traits, but just a few important ones. So I'm just going to read it out from the computer. It's simple rules, minimum downtime, meaningful decisions, player interaction, and no player elimination. So essentially, I'm going to look at different games and try to benchmark the games against these traits of great board games, see how they accomplished that. Another suggestion I got was to fix the sound, and unfortunately the sound is actually worse this time around because the camera is further away, but I do want to invest in an external microphone at some point, so eventually the sound is going to get better, but unfortunately, bear with me, not in the foreseeable future. So here we see the character cards in Bruno Faiduti's Citadels, and also the two reference cards. So in principle the game is very simple. It says here, on your turn take an action. You can either take 2 gold, so see the gold coins up here, 2 gold, or you take 2 district cards and get to keep 1, and the other one is put to the bottom of the deck. And then you build a district card, and at any time in your turn you can also use your character's special ability. And then it's the next player's turn until everybody has completed a turn. These are the 8 characters in the basic game. There are some more characters, actually up to 9 with the expansion, which is nowadays sold as in conjunction with the basic game. And this is almost like a separate game in itself. So the rounds in Citadels are divided into this character selection phase, and then afterwards it's the individual turns where you try to build your districts and win the game. But this step is almost more important. So if you're playing with less than 7 players, some of these will be removed. But if you're playing with 7, then the last player to choose gets one of these 8 characters, so that he has a selection as well. And then the first player has 7 to choose from. And they denote the initiative, so the assassin goes first, then the thief, magician, king, bishop, merchant, architect, and warlord. And all of those characters who have a colorful background to their numbers, warlord, king, merchant, and bishop, they get extra gold from districts with corresponding colors. And each of those characters has special abilities which are very important in the game. So the assassin can make an assassination attempt, and he says, for instance, I want to assassinate the magician, and whoever is playing the magician can't act this round. The thief likewise can try to rob somebody and say, I want to rob the king, and then the king has to reveal himself and give the thief player his gold, but if he doesn't have any gold, it doesn't matter. It's a forfeited ability. Magician is a bit complicated, so he can either exchange hand cards with the stack of district cards, or he can exchange all of his cards with another player. The king is just has the first choice of character card in the next round. Bishop's buildings are safe from the warlord. Merchant gets an extra gold. Architect is very powerful. He gets 2 extra cards per turn, and he may build up to 3 districts. and the warlord can destroy other districts for 1 less than the cost to build. So buildings with a 1 cost are usually not a good idea because the warlord will just raise them. Let's assume this is our starting hand of cards. So we have the market, which gives extra gold for the merchant, and it costs 2 to build. And the watchtower is for the warlord, and it costs 1 to build. Smithy is a special building, very expensive, costs 5, but then we get this special ability. Once during your turn, you may pay 2 gold to draw 3 district cards. And the monastery costs 3 gold and helps the bishop. So on our turn, we can do one of 2 things. Either we take 2 more gold, or alternatively, we could draw 2 district cards. So we have the docks and the castle, and then we need to decide which one to keep. So in this case, let's say we want to build the market next, so we'll keep the docks and try to make something work with the merchant. So we keep that and we put this on top of the district card deck. And afterwards we can build one of these districts. So we have 2 gold and we can build the market. And these 4 cards remain in our hand. And also we could use our character's special ability, and then it's the next player's turn. As soon as a player has got 8 districts or builds the 8th district, even if later on one of these gets removed from the warlord, doesn't matter. As soon as the 8th district is built, the game ends after the round, after everybody had their individual turn. And you get points for the cost of each building, of each district in your city. So this is 5, 7, 8, 16... 19, 23 points, but also we get some bonus points. If we have all of the 5 colors, we get an extra 3 points, and if we were the first one to build these 8 districts, we get an extra 4 points, and the all other players who have 8 districts at the end of the game get 2 extra points. So I do like Citadels because it's one of the few games that can be played with 7 players or with the expansion 8 players. But looking at these 5 traits of great board games, I have to subtract a few points. Although it has simple rules, so essentially if we go back to the quick reference chart here, you can see it's just these 2 cards that summarize basically all of the rules, what you can do on your turn, and you don't even need this one because this is just for scoring at the end of the game. But basically this describes all the rules there are. So simple rules definitely ticked off. Meaningful decisions, I would say also yes, because essentially when you pick a character you have to make a decision. And also on your individual turn there is a decision whether to take gold or more district cards, which district to build, and how you're planning out your route to victory. Player interaction, not so much. It's only basically the assassin, the thief, and the warlord. Well, okay, and the magician. So half of the characters can interact with the other characters, and the rest is doesn't interact at all. The game doesn't have player elimination, but on the minimum downtime side, it's although the turns are very short, if you do get picked off by the assassin, then it can be a very long time until it's actually your turn again. So minimum downtime, I would say in principle yes, but it's not always the case. So out of these 5, I would say 3 of the 5 are heated, and it's still a very good game. Thanks to all the people who commented last time, and hopefully I can get equally useful comments this time around. Pursue your dreams, and see you next time.